Hey everyone, so today what I'm going to be talking about is 7 truths for crosshatching. And the reason that I wanted to record this video is I wanted to demystify some of the aspects of crosshatching and give you all specific strategies that you can use in your drawing that will help whether you're drawing a pumpkin or anything else. Okay, so truth number 1, the key to crosshatching is direction of line. So what I mean by that is that you want to go in the direction of the form that shows the lines essentially wrapping around the form. So if your lines go every which way, it won't look 3D. But if your lines sort of think of wrapping the form, it will look really great. So as you can see here, I'm going around that form, and that's going to be what gives you that good look. So the next truth is that it's actually better to use a quicker line speed. So the reason for that is that it'll actually give you more control. If you think about when you learn to ride a bike, if you go really slow, it's actually kind of wobbly, but if you go fast, you get a smoother motion. So think of it the same way and try a faster line speed. Okay, so truth number 3 is you might think that you need to get your lines all in one full stroke, but you don't. And in fact, you can get actually a better effect if you go from both sides of your object. So as you can see here, I have the pumpkin and each side, I'm going from one to the other. And that actually gives a nice 3-dimensional quality. And it also makes it easier than trying to get my line to fit the entire section all in one shot. Okay, so truth number 4 is that your edges do matter. So you don't want to have a harsh outline because a harsh outline will flatten out your object. And this is because it creates too harsh of a boundary between the object and the surrounding space. So if you think of like a cartoons are really flat usually because they have these outlines around them. So what you actually want to do is create a kind of a gradual transition in your edges and think about sort of how you can balance hard and softer edges to create more of a 3D look. Okay, so next thing is that if you want to have a great drawing, you want to have a lot of contrast. So contrast is simply strong variation between dark and light, and that's what's going to give you a 3D look. Truth number 6 is that using a fine tip pen will give you more precision. So I really recommend Micron 005 pens, especially when they're a little bit worn. As you can kind of see here, you can get this really, really subtle effect that if you have thicker pens, like even a Micron 03, it's much more difficult. So I recommend that specific pen. If you've enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you subscribe. Okay, so this brings us to our final truth. Now, layering is so essential to crosshatching. So what layering does is it helps you build up more 3D form. And sometimes people have a hard time deciding when they're done, right? Because if you keep going for too long, you can overwork these. So you're trying to get kind of a balance between being underfinished and, overworked. So how do you determine when to stop is always the question. So what I recommend is at some point, take a step back and look and ask yourself, do you have a full value contrast? So what I mean by that is, do you have variations between, your darkest darks, your blacks, your grays, and lights. So, and everything kind of gradually like a gradient in between that. And what you also want to do is you want to look at your object that you're drawing and actually make sure, did I get the darkest shadows? And ask yourself, where are the darkest shadows? Where are the lightest lights? And that will also guide you in terms of maybe you need to darken up one area. Maybe you need to layer a bit more, and that will help you. So again, thank you for joining. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.